Hey everybody, today we're going to build this coffee table that's way overdue, so stay tuned and check it out. So let me take you on a bit of a journey, a project that started nearly 3 years ago, quite possibly the world's longest coffee table build. And as you can imagine, over those 3 years, our tastes have changed a bit, and therefore so has the design. So let me just take you on a brief tour of how that design has changed over the years. The previous design was this chunky, hollowed out rectangular shape with short metal legs. I think it would have fit in well with the rest of the room previously, but since then we bought a new couch, painted the wall, and just want something that will give the whole room a little bit of warmth and contrast the light, more muted tones of the room. So while I was rambling on there, I managed to cut the 2x6s roughly in half, just squaring up all the corners. Then I ran them through the planer and glued them into chunks and let them dry for 3 years. Not an exaggeration, unfortunately. And once the glue had cured, I squared up the ends on the miter saw. With the wooden planks out of the way, I started making the metal legs. I started by cutting all the pieces to size using my sawzall and a metal cutting blade. Then on the corners that would be welded together, I made a chamfer for the weld bead to sit in. I started by clamping the top of the leg to a wood plank, and then I could tack weld the vertical pieces of the leg in place. Doing it this way would ensure a tight fit. Then I removed the metal from the wood so that I could complete the weld without burning the wood too much. After that, I added what would be the bottom piece of the leg to the assembly and welded that in place as well. Now I wanted these corners to be seamless, so it was a lot of back and forth between filling all the gaps by welding and then grinding those welds smooth, but I think in the end it was worth it. With the overall leg shape welded together, I cut some pieces that would be the bottom supports for the wooden planks and then drilled some holes in them that would accept some bolts later on. I tacked these pieces in place to the legs while the wood plank was in place, and that way it would complete the snug fit. Then I used some cutoffs to space the support for the bottom plank off the ground just enough so that our Roomba could still fit under the table. With that, I ground everything smooth and added a few coats of flat black paint. Next, it was time to finish the wooden planks. I sanded everything to 220 grit before applying a pre-stain to help the normal stain take a little bit more uniformly. Now, this was the first time that I've used this pre-stain kind of thing, and I honestly think it worked pretty well. After a few minutes, I applied a dark walnut stain, and this wood really transformed. Once the stain had soaked in, I applied a few coats of wipe-on poly and a clear satin finish. Now this is my go-to finish right now. I really like how this satin clear finish is actually satin clear. I've used a couple other brands that claim to be satin clear, but they end up leaving a shiny surface. Not this one. highly recommended. And all that was left to do is attach the legs to the wood planks. I did this by first marking the hole locations in the metal supports, then drilling these out, and then adding these threaded inserts. With the threaded inserts in place, I could secure the legs in place with some 1-inch bolts from underneath. And that pretty much completes it. I really enjoyed how this project turned out. In fact, this is probably among one of my favorite projects I've built so far. And I know my wife is happy to finally have a coffee table after 3 long years. Hey everybody, thanks for watching this video. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to hit that like button down below. That just tells YouTube that it was a good video and that it should suggest it to other people. And if you like this video, you might like some of my other build videos, so make sure to hit that subscribe button down below as well. That way you're notified every time I release a new video. Again, I'll have a link to the downloadable plans in the description box below, so if you're interested in those, make sure to check that out. But with that, thanks for watching, and until next time.